Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So today we're talking Dr. Heavenly. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free! Free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous T. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous T Podcast. Free to follow me on the TikTok at Anonymous T Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram, on the Instagrammies, Anonymous Reality T. Free to share everywhere, you guys. Free to like the videos. Please like so that these videos get out in the algorithm, you guys. Also free to, like I said, share with your friends, your family, your foes, all of the above. So let's get into it. So Dr. Heavenly did an emergency live today because of the backlash. Apparently, she's been going back and forth with people on the Twitter/X, on the Instagrammies, and all of the things, and blocking people and all this and that. And she's alleging, because this is all in response to Phaedra saying that, it's a four-ring circus of, them being mean girls, of Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, I presume Simone, and Quad, who she's talking about, that she feels are the mean girls of the show. And basically, Dr. Heavenly wants to push back and say that she doesn't feel that that's the case, and that it's reality TV, and that sometimes people say things or whatever, but it's not, that might not be nice to people, but it's not, anybody that's quote unquote mean. And my thing is, are we watching the same show, right? So then Dr. Heavenly also alleges that Phaedra cried on the way home, I guess leaving, when she left this trip. So if Phaedra was not upset, if Phaedra was not hurt, if Phaedra does not feel that you guys are mean girls, why would she be crying on the plane home? Can you make it make sense? You could see in the scene that Phaedra was hurt. Are we, you always like, are we watching the same show? Are we watching the same scenes? Phaedra looked hurt to me, so why are you now putting out there, oh yeah, she was crying too, girl, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, wouldn't that give validity to her telling Dr. Jackie that y'all some mean girls? Can you make it make sense? Can you make it make sense? And so then, there was a lot of Phaedra fans that were in this live. So much so, Dr. Heavenly pulled a Carlos King. She didn't private the live. She didn't do a pre-record. But what she did do was turn off the comments on the chat. If you go back and rewatch the replay, you guys. Unless it's going to come up soon. But the last time I replayed it, I did not see that chat come up. But I was watching it live on my big screen. I was watching the comments go through, and they were dragging Dr. Heavenly. They were dragging her, saying, how can you say that y'all are not mean, and gave all of these examples. Like, what about what Dr. Jackie, did to Buffy? What about what happened with Dr. Jackie and the things that she said about black women that were not her VIP patients? What about you, Dr. Heavenly, and how you have treated Mariah, the things you said about Mariah, the things you said about Sweet Tea, and now she's made all these allegations about Sweet Tea, saying Sweet Tea likes to quote-unquote touch people. But again, you need to clarify what you're saying. Do you mean touch people as in she likes to get rowdy with people, or do you mean touch people? And this is what I'm like y'all are not thinking. We are in the post-Me Too era. Y'all just can't be saying stuff. So is it that you are alleging that Sweet Tea is a violent person, but you keep saying Sweet Tea keeps touching people? What does that mean, Dr. Heavenly? This is what I'm talking about, you guys. Like it's so frustrating. I felt like overall this live was just, Dr. Heavenly trying to backtrack some things and trying to put up, for the network, trying to make it look like, hey, we're not these mean group of women. Because that's going to, of course, people are going to be afraid to come on this show if this show comes back, right? Now she's backtracking on the reunion and claiming that Phaedra was not a big part of the reunion. Well, obviously she wasn't there. So it's gonna look dumb, to spend a whole bunch of time on somebody who chose not to show up. It's a waste of time. But you were the main one that was on your platform, Dr. Heavenly, saying how you were going to blame everything on Phaedra, how you were going to blame Sweet Tea being on the show to go after Quad, how Phaedra was the mastermind to get Quad off the show when it was Phaedra that was bringing Quad to the bridal shower and ambushing Quad on different scenes and all of that. You were going to say that now all of a sudden that same Phaedra was trying to orchestrate Quad being kicked off the show and having secret meetings. Can you make it make sense? And then I caught it. You said that you're trying to make things right with Quad. Because it's obvious now she's trying to say that it was a collective group that was all in agreement to bring Sweet Tea on the show. And that she thought this would be funny. But how is it that you do the same thing to Phaedra and you bring on somebody that, that's Apollo's mistress? That's Apollo's mistress turned wife, right? So nonetheless, you knew exactly what you were doing, Dr. Heavenly, and then you slip and say that you're still talking on the phone with Apollo's wife. So if you're not in cahoots, just say, it's like, make it make sense. So even if Phaedra did know Apollo was coming, she didn't know that the wife was coming. And it seems like Phaedra and Apollo have a decent co-parenting relationship, or a decent relationship enough to where she'll bring him on the show and things. But it's the wife she's not featuring because that's somebody that cheated on her. Like that's who he cheated on her with. So now you're trying to, it was just giving damage control, if you ask me. We're supposed to forget all these mean things, and it's like, y'all are talking about how you want to make things right so bad with Quad, but you're ignoring the fact that, Dr. Jackie practically lost it on Simone for her planning an event at the same location that Curtis cheated on her with another woman with, right? That wasn't even the mistress coming on the show. That was just the location where it was going down. And Jackie had a conniption about it. And now you're saying, oh, well, if there's rumors about, Damon having illegitimate children and all this and that, then they can come on the show. If he's got any type of side women, they can come on the show. And then you say no marriage is perfect, but you also confirm that you say on the show all the time that your marriage is perfect. Like, make it make sense. And now you're saying Contessa likes Sweet Tea and basically trying to allude or infer that they're in the same type of marriage. That Scott is a horrible husband to Contessa, just like you feel Dr. G is a horrible husband to Sweet Tea. And then trying to put down those ABUSE undertones, inferences of basically what you're trying to say. And now trying to make it seem like, oh, and again, it's still a clique. You're still confirming there's a clique, Dr. Heavenly, because you're basically saying you're cool with Jackie, you're cool with Simone, you're cool with Quad, you sometimes like Toya, and everybody else, let's fend for themselves. And then I heard you say, oh, because other people were asking about, well, how come none of the new girls stay long on the show, and this and that, and I caught you called Alicia dark skin. Was that necessary? Like y'all just be talking crazy for no reason. And then you guys said as well that, Phaedra's not missed on the show. She wouldn't have gave anything anyways, and all this and that. But you guys hyped her up and made it seem like she was going to be this big difference on the show. And that's not what you're mad about. You're not mad that Phaedra didn't give anything on the show. You're mad that Phaedra gave nothing on the show and was able to still maximize more opportunities outside of the show. That's what y'all are pissed about. Y'all are pissed that Married to Medicine will never be on the upper echelon that Real Housewives of Atlanta is. No matter how dark Real Housewives of Atlanta is, it is always going to be considered a more premier franchise to support than Married to Medicine. But y'all gotta own that y'all have downgraded this show. And I don't know if you're taking producer notes from Carlos King, but you're trying to act like, oh, well, we're not into violence, we're not into this and that. But nonetheless, why are y'all allowing these types of situations where everybody's trying to bring on each other's exes and people's mistresses on the show that cause the marriage to fall apart and not expect anybody to throw hands and not expect anybody to feel a certain type of way? And now you're saying, alleging that Dr. G said a part of the conditions he would come back was that his contract said that they couldn't talk about any type of ABUSC or whatever. And you thought that this would just be like a little fun thing. No. Y'all were pissed at Quad. Y'all wanted her off the show. Y'all were not expecting her to come back to the show. Like, let's keep it a buck for what it is. Because if you're spreading rumors that Phaedra orchestrated trying to get Quad kicked off the show, that really means all of y'all tried to kick Quad off the show and y'all were unsuccessful. And y'all were hoping the Sweet Tea and Dr. G were going to be the replacement. And that didn't work out to y'all favor because she's not doing what y'all want to do. So now y'all are hanging out her out to dry and making it seem like, this is all everybody else's fault. No. And so then the final thing, you guys, I want to talk about is Dr. Heavenly claiming that Phaedra is running a campaign that anybody who is pushing or talking about Phaedra calling these girls mean girls, that basically they're bots. They're bots with no followers, that they're bots with no subscribers, and that if you look at their following, it's people who do not follow anybody, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The same thing Carlos King did, right? When he was upset with the backlash with Love and Marriage Huntsville and some of the behind the scenes stuff that was going on, he wanted to make it a point to say it was just like 10 people. They don't have followers. They just go and do X, Y, and Z. No. See, you're underestimating Dr. Heavenly, Phaedra's fan base, number one. And you're underestimating, two, the Real Housewives fan base. And you are trying to get on your YouTube channel and on social media and pretend we have not seen you on this show for 11 seasons. And the things that you have said, the most deplorable things you said about Sweet Tea still was that for those fertility comments that you and Carlos King made, that they had to pull the clip off of the episode. But the blog still caught it because it was disgusting. It was too far. Y'all know y'all go too far. Talking about somebody's mom who's not even here, who's passed away. Y'all continue to push the envelope, but then when you get the backlash, y'all want to come on and play victim and act like you don't know what's wrong. People just can't handle reality TV. Oh, Phaedra knows the trigger words to say because she's an attorney on, on how to get things removed from the show or how to be able to exit. And now she's alleging that the network knew that Phaedra wasn't going to be at the reunion. So why did you do all that rah on social media as if Phaedra was coming when you knew Phaedra quit the show? It was giving, y'all were looking to use Phaedra as the scapegoat. That didn't work, so Sweet Tea and Contessa were next up on the list to be the punching bags. Can you make it make sense? Like, I'm just tired. Like, if you would just own your messiness, own that you guys are mean. Own it. Own the fact that Dr. Jackie now hides behind you because she knows you're going to say the most reckless things on your platform. Own it. But now all of a sudden when you read a comment about somebody could bring on Tammy next season trying to throw shade, or that Tammy was brought up. There were two comments. One to bring Tammy on next season, which was Cecil's former friend, and then it was brought up at BravoCon. You then were like, oh, well, there's rumors of all of our husbands, but you're the main one instigating them, Dr. Heavenly. You're the one that ran Apollonia off the show. You ran all these people off the show saying horrible rumors about these women's husbands. And now you want to get on here and act like, oh, well, it's just reality TV. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. What? Because you don't like being called a mean girl. But now Sweet Tea's violent and quote-unquote touching people. Make it make sense, you guys. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.